Welcome everyone to the January 14th meeting of the Oscoda County Board of Commissioners. I'll call for a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for January 14th, 2014.
I'll support.
I have a motion by Wilson, supported by Kristenberry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. For those of you in the audience, we are going to a consent calendar, which we feel will speed up the process of the meetings. The consent agenda actually, let me read this. A consent agenda may be presented by the president or the chairman at the beginning of a meeting. Items may be removed from the consent agenda on the request of any one member. Items not removed may be adopted by general consent without debate. Removed items may be taken up either immediately after the consent agenda or placed later on the agenda at the discretion of the assembly. The reason for the consent agenda is a lot of these things are already are procedural items that need to be taken care of on a regular basis, and everybody has information as to what this is about, and generally there is no disagreement. So therefore, by putting it on a consent agenda, you end up speeding up the process of the meeting. And with that, I will ask, are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda? Okay, hearing no removal, I will call for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar items as listed for January 14th, 2014.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Berner, supported by Grantner. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. That should be a roll call because one of the items on the consent agenda is claims and audit. Good. Roll call.
Commissioner Grantner?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kishnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Barnes?
Yes.
Commissioner Kristenberry?
Yes.
That was painless. Really? So far. Public matters regarding today's agenda. Do we have any public comment regarding today's agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to the order of business. Appointments. County Treasurer William Kendall.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I'm here today for a few things. The first thing on my list is the 2013 investment report, which I don't know if any of you remember I gave last year when you were all brand new. So I will go through this in summary and then field any questions you may have. You should all have 3 pages in front of you. The first page is just a summary of the investments of 2013. The second page is the end of the fourth quarter investments that were made, and the third page is a comparison of the end of fourth quarter 2012. As of the first of the year 2013, Oscoda County had $2,934,000 of idle funds that were invested into 10 different financial institutions. These investments were made from the Delinquent Tax Revolving Fund, the Revenue Sharing Reserve Fund, the Ambulance Equipment Fund, and the Sheriff's Equipment Fund. Just shy of 70% of these investments were federally insured. During 2013, just shy of $1,282,000 was paid out of the Delinquent Tax Revolving Fund to purchase the 2012 delinquent taxes. This was $103,000 more than the year prior. I think part of that was there was some additional millages which created a little bit more tax revenue to be collected. Therefore, our collections were about the same About 90% were collected, but because there was more taxes to be collected, a little bit more was delinquent. As of December 31st of 2013, the delinquent tax reserve, revolving fund had a surplus balance of $1,967,000. Now, I just want the commissioners to be aware also, this sounds like large numbers. I paid out $1.28 million for 12 taxes, and we have $1.96 million currently in there as of the end of the year. About 10% has been the average since I've been doing this, has come to the county as delinquent. So just so you know, if this amount went to 15% delinquent, that would eat up that 1.96, and we would be right at the point where anything more than that we'd have to borrow to buy delinquent taxes. So we're in good shape, but it wouldn't take much for that to go away quickly, okay? In 2012, $12,152,000 was billed in taxes. That's all taxes, school, county, townships, of which $473,253 remained delinquent as of the end of 2013. That was just shy of 4% still outstanding. Interest and penalties earned in that fund during 2011 amounted to $240,000. We used that to help balance the 2013 budget. So for 2014, we'll use this penalty and interest that are collected to balance the 2012 penalty and interest to balance the 2014 budget. Now, again, if we get to the point where we have to borrow, it's kind of twofold. Not only do you not have this money to invest, not that it's making a lot of money, but you aren't collecting delinquent interest, and any of the county admin fee that you're collecting will go towards paying the interest on tax anticipation notes that you borrowed on. So you wouldn't have that $240,000 to help the general fund with. The revenue sharing reserve fund is starting to dwindle down. We're going to be looking at the state to start supplying revenue sharing to us here soon. We had $550,616 as of January 1 of 2013. By statute, $190,578 was moved to the general fund, which was in lieu of revenue sharing from the state. And my estimates show that we're going to have about 85% of what, by statute, we should be able to move in 2015 left in our fund account. So we're going to run out of money in that fund in 2015. At that time, we will need to file some paperwork with the state. We will also need to do a dashboard on our website to qualify for revenue sharing money from the state like we used to get prior to '04. The state has been paying the counties that, but I think it's been about 80% of what by statute you're supposed to pay. So you can see that the state has almost $1 billion surplus, so maybe they'll raise that to 100% funded. I don't know. In addition, $375,000 from the ambulance equipment fund and another $150,000 from the sheriff's equipment fund were also invested. And as you know, our current investments are gaining about 0.25%. And to give you an idea on that, back in 2005, my first year, we were getting just over 5%, which was generating about $175,000 a year, and now it's generating about $20,000 if we're lucky a year. So about $150,000 less investment interest than we used to get. So as of the end of 2013, we had $2,856,000 of idle funds invested in 9 different financial institutions. Just shy of 84% of those are federally insured. And the other pages show you the different financial institutions that they're invested in and their interest rates. Is there any questions on this?
So we need to at least pursue that dashboard on the website thing.
I think this year would be a good time to kind of sit down and do something preliminary. I think Jerry and I should be involved, and Dan Kaufman, maybe a commissioner or two, and look at other county websites and what they've done, and kind of put something together that we think would work for us, like come 2015 we're ready to go.
Because that is a requirement.
It is a requirement.
To submit to the state.
And even though we're gonna get 85% roughly of our revenue sharing out of our fund, I don't know the state will make up the difference, but it's worth pursuing. All they can do is tell us no.
But if that dashboard isn't there, we don't get anything.
Correct, if the dashboard, and one of the things we also have to show is that we're trying to consolidate services, whether it's with townships or other counties, which we have done here for quite a few years, like our housing department is shared with Crawford and things like that. And that's what the governor's looking for, is that you're trying to cut services down in some shape, way, or form to save
So all
money.
we're doing it, all we have to do is show
Just
we're
prove it,
doing
yep.
it and prove it.
Yep.
Okay.
Not necessarily cut services,
No, to cut
but
costs.
coordinate services with
Yes.
other counties, townships, whatever.
Yes,
I don't like the word cut.
sorry.
Maintain the same services, but do it in a coordinated effort with other entities.
Yes. Any other questions?
All in all, we're sitting pretty good as compared to previous years. And
Yeah, we're real similar to previous years. The one thing Oscoda County has done, while a lot of counties during our really troubled years, we're going in the red, Oscoda County's always been in the black. Not like we have lots of extra money, because we don't, but the money's been managed wisely. And, we've always been in the black, so you can't ask for much more than that.
okay. Well, thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay, next thing I got is a couple of motions that I would like to have the board consider. We do these every year. The first one, I believe you have copies of those, is that correct, Brenda? To waive collection fees for paraplegic, quadriplegic, eligible service persons, blind persons, and totally and permanently disabled. It's a waiver of interest and penalty for 2 months if they qualify. I'm not sure, I don't have the wording in front of me on the motion. This is a motion that we've done every year. Basically what it is if you're one of these eligible people and you have a hard time, can't pay your property taxes, but you filed the homestead credit through your Michigan income tax return by February 14th, but have not received that credit, we will waive the county 4% admin fee and the 1% interest for both March and April, so you get that credit and come in and pay it.
4% admin fee and 1%.
1% interest for each month or part of month, so it would be 2% if you waited until April.
I'll make a motion to waive the collection of fees and interest to those senior citizens, paraplegic, quadriplegic, eligible servicemen, veterans, and widows, blind persons, and those who are permanently disabled that have applied for a homestead property tax credit until 5/1/14.
Second.
I have a motion by Grantner, supported by Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same side.
Thank you. And one other motion, and this one is imperative that I have, please. That's to create the 2014 tax revolving fund, because in March, the 2013 taxes will become delinquent, and I need this fund established to be able to buy those taxes from the townships.
What's a GOF?
It is a general operating fund. Basically what we do is we consolidate all the prior year's delinquents that we've collected into this general operating fund and then buy the current year delinquents.
Acronyms.
I make a motion to create the 2014 tax revolving fund for the purchase of purchasing the 2013 delinquent taxes, funding it with the uncommitted reserve of Fund 616, and creating a general operating fund at the First Merit Bank.
I'll support. I have a motion by Grantner, supported by Berner. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. There you go.
Thank you, that's all I have. Any other questions?
Yeah, I do have one thing that I would like to see you do, and that is to start investing our money with a little better interest rate.
Good luck with that.
No, I'm not even gonna go there.
Again, we'll take it.
Just don't start buying lottery tickets from now. We'll look at you in a different light.
30 million.
I won't even bring up Nigeria.
Really? All right, thank you very much, Bill, we appreciate that. Under old business, we have nothing. Under new business, what financials do we have to, we've already taken care of that. Yes, we have. Correspondence, reports, and/or resolutions. I do not have any correspondence personally. Anyone else?
Well, other than this county youth thing, it's going to be presented at the Knights of Columbus January 21st for the sign up from 6:30 to 8:30.
Were you gonna bring that up, Sandy?
No, that's why I passed out. It's in the paper and it's on the radio.
Yeah.
It's at the schools and businesses.
Explain this a little bit to me, Bob.
So you've got the information there, Sandy can present it too, but it's just setting up different programs. But right now, with the Knights of Columbus, we have to get kids signed up and get them through the program and registered. And then the goal of the program is to provide quality activities for the youth to enjoy while preparing them for a successful future.
Okay, we have, our leaders have gone through some investigation through the Boy Scouts, or is that?
The committee has already, and some of the previous 4-H leaders, anybody signing up that night has an application they have to fill out, and with that is a criminal background investigation. And so they are not approved till that's passed.
Okay. And so this is going to take place January 21st, 2014, 6:30 to 8:30 at the Knights of Columbus Hall. Anyone that would like to join us and be there and sign up as a leader or as a participant in the program, I think it's a great opportunity for the youth of our community. So thank you. Thank you, Sandy, for presenting this. Thank you, Bob. Okay, committee reports. Are you prepared, Mr. Bernard?
No.
Okay.
January 6th, I had a park board meeting. Consumer Powers will be coming down to take down a bunch of trees at the county park. In January and February, it's going to be, Dan's going to take care of the wood, cut it up, and actually sell it to the campers down there. We held an organizational meeting, but that president is going to be via Ward, vice president is going to be Burtis, and the secretary is Gills. That was the end of the meeting. On January 9th, I met with the EDA meeting here. Mr. Bob Mathis presented a nice slide presentation, setting up a bunch of goals and looking to the future of what we could come up with. And then yesterday or last night, I went to an MTA meeting at the Menor Township.
Very good. Thank you, Bob.
I'm talking more about that.
Mr. Wilson.
1-3 Veteran Board, we had our monthly meeting. They went through all the grants and stuff and approved whatever they wanted. And veterans with the appointment system is working real great. They're coming in on time. You can drop off papers if you have to, but appointments went just great. They were in and out. Everything went great out there. Everything's working great. M33's busting their butt to get the lines up, and DSL and everything's working now. 1-6 Clinton Township, they just went through bills and their organizational meeting. I was about at 1-7. The BOC, we had our organization meeting for officers and stuff. And 1-7 went to the River Fest. Bob Masson was a guest speaker talking about the Moose is going to be doing the bear tent and how they're going to set it up and stuff. If anybody wants to ever come, it's open to the public. It's a great meeting. You need to come and see what's going on. 110, landfill, elective officers, elective committees. Lagoons aren't doing too bad. And then 113 last night, the MTA meeting is about to start talking about. Our prosecutor, Cassidy, was there to talk about what's going on with their trying to get a fundraiser going from the townships to help bring in money to help them for the money they've lost. She got into the what was happening in 2013, what all they've done, and what they plan on doing in 2014 on their agenda. It was a very good meeting, and that's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. For me, I had a landfill board meeting, as Larry just stated. The organizational meeting was held at the same time. Lyle Van Wormer from Alpena is the chairman for 2014. Albert LaFlesche from Montmorency is the vice chair. I am the secretary-treasurer for 2014. The Finance Committee and Personnel Committee, as he stated, were selected as well. On 113, the Oscoda County Council on Aging. Their audit begins on 120 with Bob Carpenter. Had a long discussion about new programs to promote the Council on Aging and to get more people involved in coming into the Council on Aging. And we're hoping that that is going to come to fruition. As you may know, snow and ice has, snowstorms and ice storms have created some problems with our home-delivered meals. So hopefully that's going to get back on track if we get some halfway decent weather. 114, the Oscoda County Road Commission, that was this morning. They also had their organizational meeting. There are no changes there. Jim Bolton is the chairman, and Roger Wiegand is the vice chair. And the meetings are going to be held every 2 weeks, and they begin on the 17th of this month, the union negotiations, and then the audit begins for them with Bob Carpenter on 127. So Bob Carpenter is going to be a busy guy, and I heard he just had, what, hip replacement? So he's still going to be a busy man gimping around on his new hip. And that's it for me. Thank you.
On January the 7th, we had our organizational meeting here. On January the 10th, I had the claims and the audits, and that's all I have. I'm done.
I have
Thank you, Lee.
My busy weeks are coming up.
Mine are too.
But I would like to say, in reference to Mr. Kishnick, there's no problems with the home-delivered meals. We operate the same as always. We have emergency meals sent out, and when the schools are closed, we're usually closed. It was 2 days we were down, and we sent out 3 emergency meals, and they're shelf-stable meals, so there really isn't any problem per se, other than the fact that we aren't getting out. I also would like to note, too, a lot of you people weren't here on for the organizational meeting, and I thought you should at least acknowledge or know the courthouse, they have a thing called Dress Down Days, and they saved up $675 throughout the year, and they donate these to charitable organizations. Now, who did you give them to, Bill? Or Jerry?
You took my steam away.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to make sure, I wanted to make sure people knew about it. I thought it was
I
great
was
you
waiting
guys
for
did
public
this.
comment because it wasn't on the agenda.
Oh, well, I'm
His
sorry.
family loved-
You want to tell them?
It was his family love. They all received $225.33, and Lydia's Gate and We Can Food Pantry. And this is only the white building, that's not this building. That's just the white building that collected this money. We pay $1 a week to dress down and wear jeans on Friday.
Wasn't there some sheriff's people in there too?
Oh, I guess
Sheriff's
Amy
secretary
does,
was in
yes.
Yeah, I thought that,
Well,
that's really
this
good.
building doesn't, if they would put in, it would be a lot bigger pot and we'd have more money to give, so.
There you go, good job.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Last week, you'll be reported.
I owe you one. Yeah.
Also, we did not really mention, it was mentioned that we had an organizational meeting. It was not mentioned that the chairman remained the same, the vice chair remained the same, and it's business as usual. Okay, after the committee reports, we have public comment. Do we have any public comment today? Yes, AJ.
I want to, as working for the Oscoda County Veterans Office, I want to thank the county commissioners, Dan Kaufman, for the new computer system that we have in that office now. It's a wonderful machine, a lot better than what we had before. So I want to thank you guys for helping out with the support.
Working well?
Yes, it is.
Happy to hear that.
And if it isn't working, I'll let you know.
I'll be the second to know.
Third. But thank you.
Very good, AJ, thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Larry, you mentioned the phones. At the veterans.
We'll get there, are they today? We're gonna finish putting the new number in, so,
Okay. 'Cause, boy, my phone's ringing off the hook like crazy.
yeah. Frontier messed us around and giving us our phone number. They went beyond the date that we were supposed to have the number, turned over the old number. They messed around with us. They played games with us. Give us the wrong lines, only turn on 911 emergency at one time. It's just a big mess. M33's been there, I'd say probably 5 times. Even Nate was there with 2 of his guys late one night till about 6:30 trying to get the lines working. It's been a nightmare.
But I know it's been a nightmare. I just was wondering if they were on yet or not, that was all.
So today we should be finished and everything should be up.
Yes, AJ.
On that note, I'd like to just give a big hand to M33. They've been very standout and helping out and not complaining. They've just been there trying their best to get this working. And like Larry was saying, Frontier has been pretty much a pain in not being forthwith with their resources to M33. But M33's been really trying hard to get it working.
Even Mr. Glenn Wilson, luckily I had his personal cell phone one time to call him and he helped a lot too, so even Glenn's been helping.
Yes, Dave.
Yes, I'd like to express my my opposition once more to the fueling situation for the ambulance, and I don't feel that that is the correct way to do it. I do feel that there's somewhat of an experiment taking place with the changing from a proven fuel from diesel to a gasoline propane powered unit. In my experience, I believe that the county would be better to stay with diesel. It's more or less, I guess, a done deal, but I just wanted to express that.
Thank you. So noted. I'd have been surprised if you didn't. Mr. Madison.
Just wanted to let everybody know that the new format for our breakfast gatherings
went very well last week with the networking at the beginning and then the topic at 8 o'clock and then to a roundtable discussion. Worked very well. Folks were there for the most part until about 9 o'clock. There were even a couple there at 9:15 still because they were given that opportunity to network, and it worked very well.
Very good.
As Bob said, we did our strategic plan. We have a number of initiatives that we are going to pursue this year. Social media classes for business owners so that they have a better understanding of Facebook and Twitter and things like that, because it is the wave of where we're headed. We're going to update our business resource guide and make it smartphone friendly so that you can actually have an app and you can access all of the information that we have currently online. We're going to start a campaign to recruit entrepreneurial-minded individuals to create niche businesses for our residents, businesses, and visitors, to expand on some of the things we're doing. Continue to expand on MyFair, and we're working in conjunction with NEMCOG right now to create a campaign that is going to be M33, your scenic route to the bridge. We're hoping for a couple of billboards on 75. So that's what we're starting the year out with.
Very good. Thank you, Bob. Anyone else?
You see, you'd have been surprised about me also.
I'm never surprised.
February 1st, we have the Hoops for the House. It's a benefit basketball game for River House Shelter, which services our 4-county area. I just sent Cassie an email this morning there to see if she can help round up some players or otherwise for us, but always entertaining. I'm not going to say, at least on my end anyways, it'll be the most athletic, but it will certainly be an entertaining event. This year they're going to change it up a little bit. It's going to be, last few years it's been the teachers against us. I think they just cheated better and they won. So this year here we've got the Mount teachers, the sheriff's office, the fire and EMS are together, and then Department of Human Services are flagging a team, and it's going to be a 4-team event. It runs from 11 to 2 on February 1st. It's a Saturday. It costs $3 for a donation to get in, and they'll also have some food items for sale in the cafeteria. Again, benefits a good cause, always entertaining, and we'll make it fun. You show up, you'll be good for a couple laughs there anyways, and probably at my expense, but we'll go with that. So.
The Oscoda County Final Four.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go with something like that. Yeah, well, we might even, might even be little bubbles we can fill in to, go for
That's
points.
usually in March, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's March Madness. This is February. You come up with your own thing. February fun. Yeah, follies. We'll go with that. And February 15th.
It could be a folly.
Yeah, you're right. February 15th, our Snowmobile Patrol is putting on a snowmobile safety course. It's at the Mayo Community Center, again, February 15th, I believe that's a Saturday, and it runs from 8:30 to 4:30. It must be 12 years of age to attend, and you sign up at the Sheriff's Office. I believe also the Salvo Valley Groomers, Oscoda County Groomers is going to be assisting in providing a lunch and helping with the instruction and helping with some of the safety ends and how to go over the machine and stuff like that. So again, February 15th, 8:30 to 4:30, 12 years of age and older for a snowmobile safety course at the community center. So, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Kevin. Anyone else? For those of you from townships that do not have zoning, I want you to be aware that the medical marijuana bill has been passed by the House, where townships are going to have the option to approve or disapprove the dispensaries operating in their township. This has to go through the Senate yet at the state level, but we in Greenwood Township are going to have an ordinance controlling medical marijuana as where the dispensaries can be. But I will say the other 5 counties, or the other 5 townships, need to be aware of this, that it is out there, it is going, very likely going to pass the Senate, since it has already passed the House. So be aware of it. Controls are going to be at the township level, so I will leave it at that. Any other comments?
Voice your opposition to that, what is it, House Bill 636? Were there the elimination of landlines?
Yes.
Senate Bill
Senate Bill.
636, yeah, I was actually gonna, when you mentioned about the.
No, Wright, Molinar, and McMaster's.
Yep, I talked to McMaster's yesterday, and he's against it because of the fact that, obviously in northern Michigan, it's very hard to make sure that we can, get good cell coverage in a lot of the northern Michigan areas. There are some supposed fail-safes in there, according to what AT&T and the others that
I'd like
are.
them to come out to my house and
That's
try to pick up the
that's
cell
the
service.
problem. I think there's too many unknowns, and they want them to research this a lot more before they are able to, support or anything like that. But it is Senate Bill 636, and it's apparently, where was it at in the bill there? Anyways, it's going before its third vote, I believe, and there's some movement with it, I guess. So.
Well, that has passed the House, hasn't it?
I think it went through the House.
Last major step, governor's desk. Bill set for the 3rd reading in the House is what I was given yesterday.
Okay, then it has not passed.
No, I don't think so. Now it goes to the governor.
At this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I have a pair of motions to adjourn.
I'll support.
I'll have a motion by Kristen Berry, supported by Werner, to adjourn the meeting.
Me and Mark wanted to second it.
I was going to say nothing. These people always.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you all for attending.
Leave that right